Today, I'd like to introduce you to Duskward, which is the town where we're going to be spending most of our time in the Heartstone of Karrana. Up next. Well, greetings, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Paul, otherwise known as the Techno Funk Boy. This channel is dedicated to kind of chronicling my progress in a tabletop role-playing game that I am writing called the Heartstone of Karrana. I hope that to get this up as a Kickstarter in just a few months. Been working on the kind of details of that, is specifically what the tiers are going to be, how much this thing is going to cost to produce, and in that sort of thing. But in the meantime, we've actually been making some great progress. So, any of you who are following me on Twitch know that we ran a test game of the first dungeon of this campaign just a week or so ago, and it went extremely well, and I was very, very happy with the results. There were some things that were kind of got brought to the surface that I need to fix, but all in all, it went extremely well, and I couldn't be more pleased. We have scheduled the next leg of the adventure, and if you were tuned in, you caught some caught some things that are happening in the adventure that is kind of giving the whole campaign some real spunk, and so please do, if you do watch Twitch, twitch.tv/technofunkboy is where you're going to find our test play of this adventure. In the meantime, though, I wanted to turn our eyes to Duskward. Now, Duskward is the city where our adventure is mostly taking place. It was called Duskward because in the early days of the city, they built it on the east side of this mountain range. And so when travelers from farther east were coming toward it, when the sun set behind, I didn't even realize the shadows. That's so appropriate. Because when the sun would set behind these mountains, the mountains would go into silhouette except for the fires from this town, which would come off of this mountain. And so if travelers would look Duskward, they would spot the city from very far away. The city grew up quite a bit since then. It has become an extremely wealthy city with a lot of influence. It is a city that caters to the rich and the powerful, to princes and kings. It's the sort of city that does many things to attract royalty and nobility to within its walls. One of the big things that we're going to see in just a moment is the bazaar, and this bazaar is specifically catered to that clientele. There are strange, magical, and exotic things within this bazaar, and the entire area is built up to serve kind of as entertainment for these very, very powerful people who bring their gold to town and leave it there, and thus making everybody most happy. Let's go over to the map. So this is Duskward. For those curious, this map was made through Incarnate. That's where I'm going to be making a lot of the maps from this campaign, and this is going to be kind of the main thing. So you're going to see north of the city is the very wealthy side of town. Although that to say, if you're within the walls, this is not a bad place to be. Even on the southern side, the whole thing is set up to cater to luxury. On the very, very north of the town, that is our castle. That is where the king lives. There is also a great library there, as well as some of the temples. Now, the the thing right north of the river with the really nice lawn and a lot of trees, that is the bazaar, and this is a place that not only just has goods for sales, but also entertainment for sale of all sorts. Now, to get to town, there is no gate on the north side of town. You do have to go across the river, and there is one way across the river, and that is past this kind of diamond-shaped island in the middle. That is mostly for decoration, although there are the two towers do have guards and stuff. There's no horse-drawn carriages north of the river. Anything that you're transporting over there, you either have to get via the river, and the bazaar does have a small pier where you can drop off goods, or you would have to get it there by hand or by hand cart. It is kept very, very clean and very, very nice, and the riffraff are kept very, very far away. South of the river, right at that bridge, you see a number of different street vendors. The buildings around there are also there as kind of a central marketplace. This is not the crazy rare stuff. This is the normal stuff. This is where you're going to get the crops from the field, or food or supplies, or anything like that. There might be some kind of strange stuff that just didn't make the cut to get it across the river, but they're still going to try to sell it there as well. And so this is where you're going to find a blacksmith, the general store, different food vendors, potions, and the inn, and all of this stuff. There are quite a few inns in town because this is a place of tourism, and so a good chunk of the town on any given day are visitors from out of town, and so there are several inns outside the walls, which is the more poor areas of towns, and there's a couple of inns also inside of town. Beyond that, there are some gardens and stuff, but getting farther down, and I think I'm going to need to move that to see outside. And so clustered by the two gates, there's one on the east side of town and one on the south side of town is the kind of the poorer areas of town where there are also cheaper inns, cheaper taverns, and that sort of thing. The rocks on the on the southwestern corner of the map are actually very, very important to the story. And there's a lot of history there. This was a very, very it was done very, very intentionally, where part of the city used to be, but part of the mountain was dropped on top of it, as I say, very intentionally. And that's actually where we're going to start our story, is in the caves in this area. And the history of this area goes back several centuries, and to the founding of the modern town, and some secrets that were buried there that were never meant to be uncovered. That's where we're going to kind of kick things off. This is Duskward. I'm really happy with the way the town is coming together. The thing I've actually been working on this week is to fill out exactly what is in town. The characters there, the NPCs, the different stores, what is being sold in the bazaar. I know certain areas of the bazaar that are important. I also know certain areas of the bazaar that I just, in a fit of quirkiness, wanted to throw in there because I thought they were humorous. But I'll just filling out the details of little things that the players are going to be able to look at and see. And it's filling out really, really nicely. The other thing I did, and you're going to notice it in the background, is we have some music. I mentioned in a previous video, this game is going to come with a soundtrack. And so that is going to be an option on Patreon. It's also going to be released as a full album release, possibly two, because it might be pretty long. But that is going to be part of the game, is that I am making music designed for this world, and the first bit of this music was playing in the background at the beginning of this video. The next video is actually going to be about that. But tons more work to do. Just because the first dungeon is pretty much complete and pretty much where I want it. There's still tons to do, because this is going to be a big one. Really appreciate you hanging out with me. Please do hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. You can follow me, TechnoFunkBoy, on Twitter. You can check the notes for the Discord. This is where we're going to keep giving updates. And when we get closer, we're going to have a date for that Kickstarter, because this is going to be a fun one. And I'm going to have a lot of material for you, so that you're going to be able to look at and decide if this is something that you want to invest in, because I think when you see what I'm working on, you're going to like it. That is my hope. We got a little ways to go before then, but stick with me. It's going to be a fun ride. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. Until next time, thanks again. I hope you all have a great day. Appreciate it.